Do you guys see that? I think that's a line. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Yes, you read that correctly. I am pregnant. If you're new here, my name is Sara and I have a 20-month-old toddler named Suleiman. This will be baby number 2. I am super excited to welcome them. Their due date is February 14th. If you like pregnancy videos and are interested in pregnancy videos, please be sure to hit up that like and subscribe because I will be updating about this regularly from here on out. And I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of background about my pregnancy. I'm going to talk about some symptoms that I'm going through, aversions, cravings, all that good stuff, and maybe even a little bit of comparison between the two pregnancies because they have been very, very different experiences for me so far. So I found out around, I think it was June 2nd, my first pregnancy test, and I was just a couple days late on my menstruation cycle. I'll show you guys a clip of that because I did record it. Alright, so it may be the last day of Ramadan today, and tomorrow might be Eid, depending on the setting of the moon. And I'm in my bathroom because I'm about to take, I'm just staring at this, it's on the counter. A pregnancy test. Yes, I just bought a dollar store one, but I bought an early one. I'm just waiting for it and I'm so nervous. Like I'm shaking. I start to get faint when I was pregnant in my last pregnancy, and I'm starting to feel that way again. So I have a feeling that I might be pregnant just because of that. And I also tend to get really emotional when I'm pregnant, which I am right now. And I'm rambling on and on because I'm just waiting for this test to finish so I could see what it is. So I have it on the strip like this, so it's turned over. And I'm going to look at it now because it's been at least a minute. Do you guys see that? I think that's a line. God, please let this stick. I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry. And now that you've seen that clip, you're probably like, whoa, that's a lot of emotion. And yes, I had a lot of emotion about this because I didn't conceive my son so easily. It was a struggle. We went through years of not being able to conceive a child, losses and such. And it was really emotional for me to, 1, see a positive pregnancy test, and 2, not really have to do any type of intervention about it. And I just ended up taking some medicine. I took Clomid and was able to conceive my son, Suleiman. And then with this, I didn't have to take anything. And Clomid was really a hit on my hormones. I wanted to tell you guys about the whole progression line thing. So I ended up taking photos and pregnancy tests every day after I found out because the line was so faint. And at that point, I should have, based on my first day of my last cycle, I should have been about 5 or 6 weeks by the time I took that test. And some people are like, oh, but you were only a couple days late on your cycle. But it was already, I already have abnormal cycles. So it should have been around 5 or 6 weeks. It was coming out more as if I just ovulated not that long ago, which was the case. And I'm gonna go show you guys an ultrasound.
This says 7 weeks and 6 days. Is your cycle regular or this is the heart?
So I found out I was actually measuring 2 weeks behind. Now, if this was my first pregnancy or my pregnancy with my son, I probably would have freaked out just over that because if you read that you're measuring behind, usually it's not a good sign. I had just weaned off the pump and breastfeeding, so my cycles had not adjusted yet. I was not that stressed about it. To be honest, with this whole pregnancy, I've been a lot less stressed and anxious than I was in my last pregnancy. In my last pregnancy, I dealt with prenatal anxiety, which is a very real thing. It's just like postpartum anxiety or postpartum depression. And I highly recommend you talk to your doctors about it if you feel any type of anxiety like that. If you're constantly worried that something's about to happen with your baby, talk to your doctor about it. I did. And I'm really glad that I did, because it did help me through that pregnancy. With this pregnancy, I have not had that issue. So I wanted to talk to you guys first about the symptoms I experienced before I did the first pregnancy test. So my first symptoms, and I wrote them all here because I'm not gonna remember everything. And this is just like a bookmark that I made when I was pregnant with Suleiman. So my first symptom was bloating. I was so bloated, and you can see in the clip that I'm just like puffy. I'm just really puffy and bloated. I'm retaining a lot of water. And then the second symptom that I had was a sinus inflammation. So I didn't show this, but this whole side of my face was completely inflamed. The next symptom I had was insatiable hunger. This was really different than my son's pregnancy, because I did not have any point in my pregnancy where I was insatiably hungry. I had mood swings, and I was generally quite angry, and I'm not the type at all. Back pain, lower back pain, it's called sciatica, and then breakouts were on my nose at that point. So that was very strange for me. I don't usually break out on my nose. Those were the first symptoms that I had. After the pregnancy test, these symptoms started coming on. So I had some mild nausea, not that much, bloating still continuing, hunger continuing, anger continuing, backaches continuing, nicer hair texture in general, which was nice, breakouts continuing, sensitive teeth enamel. And I get this with my pregnancies. Last pregnancy as well, I had super sensitive teeth. And then mild ligament pains, so round ligament pains.
One fly kiss for mommy. Aww, thank you.
My symptoms from 6 to 8 weeks, that's when the pregnancy really started to feel intense. So this started around the time that I was in Venice. So the first symptom was nausea, and it kicked in heavily. I had HG with my son's pregnancy, and so far this one hasn't been different in that aspect. Leg aches, so continuing from the back pain to the legs, so sciatica goes down your legs. Using the washroom all the time, because that happens. Food aversion started kicking in. I had fatigue. I was so tired. I felt like I could knock out at any point, anywhere, or just let me lie down for a second and I'll pass out. Eyebrow thinning. So my eyebrows, I lose eyebrows, which is so sad because they're already thin enough. It's just super annoying. If you have this symptom as well, let me know in the comments. My nails, of course, were growing fast, and they still are. I literally just cut them and they're already quite long. Upset stomach, the opposite of what some people feel. I know some people get backed up when they're pregnant. That's not the case for every woman. Migraine started at the back of my head, and that was because I believe I was becoming really dehydrated. Bloody noses. So that's another wonderful pregnancy symptom. And then between weeks 8 to 14, I had these symptoms. So I started to feel my baby move around 10 weeks. It felt like a fluttering or like bubbles, and it was really low. I'll show you guys a chart of what the uterus looks like at the different stages. I invested in an at-home heartbeat Doppler, a fetal Doppler, and I know some people are completely against it, but it gave me complete reassurance in my son's pregnancy, and it gave me reassurance in this pregnancy as well. I got more round ligament pain, I had an increased libido, but that was completely different from my last pregnancy. Increased sickness and fatigue, and I think this is actually when my thyroid started to act up. I had hair loss as well around 12 weeks, so like again, from 10 to 12 weeks, there was definitely a progression in my thyroid functioning, and it was regressing, so to speak. I also had weight loss because of the HG, metallic taste in my mouth. I was really angry, and congestion and headaches continued. What do you think? And now to catch up from weeks 15 to 20. At 16 weeks, I actually felt my baby move more distinctively. Like I felt when they would swish or turn, I called it swishing, but now it feels like a full movement at 20 weeks. My bump actually became really visible at 15 weeks. So I think I have a clip of myself at 17 weeks, which I'll show you guys. But my bump actually became a little bump at 15 weeks. I had more energy because I got my synthroid checked I got my thyroid levels checked, and my dosage of synthroid was bumped up for the first time in 10 years. I also started taking diclectin for the morning sickness. I was offered this in my last pregnancy as well, but I was like, I'm gonna be all natural and persevere, whatever. Diclectin is a medication that is an antihistamine and a B vitamin supplement. And B vitamins, by the way, have been known to reduce the risk of miscarriage. So I was completely, basically driven to take this medication because I felt it would help. And so far it has. I started breaking out on my chin. So you've probably seen this in my other videos, but I did start getting breakouts on my chin. Chin is hormonal. Hair started growing on my arms. And you're probably like, what? If I can get a clip, I will show you guys. I don't know. You can barely see it, but I have hair. That's a weird pregnancy symptom, but it's my pregnancy symptom. I did start gaining weight because now the medication's working. I'm not throwing up anymore and I am able to eat better. Cravings started. I never had any cravings in my son's pregnancy, and it could be because I didn't take any medication to stop the morning sickness. I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm craving because I'm just like so proud of myself. I've been craving avocado toast, chicken wings, coffee, peppermint, and ice cream. And those are like legitimate cravings. I really want them and I go out of my way to get them. And I never really understood pregnancy cravings until now. So my aversions this pregnancy are pesto, tomato sauce. It's starting to get a little bit less with tomato sauce. Pasta, very strong aversion to. All like things Italian food. How sad is that? Mushrooms and onions. So those are really weird aversions for me because I like all those things. In my last pregnancy, I was completely averse to peanut butter and tahina and soy, which was really, really, really weird, amongst a million other foods, but those were like the most prominent things. In that pregnancy, I didn't have a single craving. I just survived off of eating lemons, whole lemons, and potatoes. Totally different pregnancy. That's it for the symptoms so far. My weeks start every Friday, so this Friday, when you see this video, hopefully, I will be 20 weeks. I know some people are asking if I'm gonna find out the gender this time. Yes, I am finding out the gender, and yes, I will reveal the gender again. And for those of you who don't know the situation, I had a failed gender reveal. So we were told that my son was going to be a girl, and he is a boy. So I'll show you guys a clip. If I have any pictures or clips of that, I will show that now.
The boy?
And as you can see, I was like super excited to be having or expecting a girl. I thought my son was a girl because my doctor kept slipping up and saying, she's waving at you, she's doing this, she's doing that. So in my head, I was like, oh, that's it, it's a girl. And obviously, yes, he was slipping up because he did think that my son was a girl. And then we had an emergency ultrasound that following week, and I found out that he was a boy. I was 24 weeks when we found out that he was a boy. And alhamdulillah, totally fine with that. I was not disappointed at all. I did not go through any form of gender disappointment because to me, nothing really changed. My son it's my child at the end of the day. I was very, very excited, and I do not have any preference towards this next child. I'm tracking my pregnancy on an app called Pregnancy Plus, but I'll link it below because it's an amazing app. And no, this is not sponsored. I really found this app before it even became a thing, I guess, because Advent just took it over last year. Anyways, it shows what your baby looks like each week in 3D. It also shows ultrasounds, which it had before, but now you can move around the picture of the baby and see what they look like, and it gives you info and little blurbs about the baby. It also does the weekly updates, and it has like a daily blog, and it has checklists, it has a kick counter, it has a contraction counter, all these good things. I love their lists. I did use that when I was packing my hospital bag. I can't say enough about that app. I really, really, really loved it with my son, and I'm enjoying it again with my second baby. And I think with that, I'll show you guys the bump. Okay, so I'm gonna be 20 weeks. This is the front shot. Looks like I have a bow on my belly, how cute. And then this is the side shot of the bump. You guys can see, I have quite a big belly. This is much bigger than my last pregnancy, which I will show you guys a comparison of. But that's my bump, and this is how I'm styling it now because, yes, people ask me if I'm pregnant, and it's kind of pretty obvious. Okay guys, so if you like this video, please be sure to hit up that like button, subscribe for more videos because I will be uploading more about this in the future, and welcome to my channel. If you guys have anything to say or anything that you'd like to see more of or any questions regarding pregnancy, just any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Until then, see you next time.